Your children are born being the boss, and the only one that can teach them not to be the boss is you. A child is literally born crying to you to serve them. If you have a little baby boy, he cries and you change his diaper. He cries and you give him a feed. He cries and you give him a cuddle. And from the moment he is born, he is saying, hey, do what I want, do what I say, come right now. And in his little mind, it's understandable. He cries, you give him something. And so, from birth, we are literally training our kids to be the boss, to be the master, and they think that the whole world revolves around them. Now, of course, this is a normal thing. It's very natural, and children need to cry so that we can, give them what they need. They need a diaper change. They need a cuddle. They need to know that we're there. And this is a very important step. But what I found is that after they have gone from infant to kind of like baby toddler stage, that's when parents start to expect them to do a little more and be a little less bossy, right? And not run the household. Things that a baby did when it was an infant are suddenly not very cute when a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old are doing it. This baby has been so sweet and so lovely and so little, and now that they're getting a bit more of a will of their own and they're mobile, all of these things need to stop. And this is usually where parents have a lot of tension, a lot of problems, is that the baby wants to continue being the boss, and the parent doesn't want them to be the boss anymore. And so here we have a big problem. But it's okay. It's easily fixable. All we need to know is what to do. As parents, with a little bit of forethought and a little bit of preparation, this stage can be handled quite easily, and it doesn't need to keep you up at night. You don't need to have kids embarrassing you in public. You don't need to have a household that is completely chaotic because your 1-year-old rules the roost. Today we're going to go through 3 steps on how to fix it. Step 1. Understand what the baby is thinking. Every child that is born needs to go through this phase of relinquishing control of the house. They think that you are their slave. They always have, from birth. And it's our job to help them to understand they're actually not the boss. That we as the parents, we're actually the boss. And it can be very difficult for them. And, we need to sympathize a little bit with that, but just understanding that they're not trying to do it on purpose. They're not trying to get at us. They just need to be taught. Now, if you have a little boy, he is the king, and he's not going to enjoy giving his kingdom to you, the parent. And so expect there to be a little bit of a fight. Kids will not be happy to give it up. But fear not, brave parent, for you can definitely do it. Not only can you do it, but you must do it. As parents, if we don't do this stage, we run the risk of creating children that really are not very pleasant to be around, right? But if we do it properly, then you're going to give them a wonderful gift, which is self-control. This is vital for their upbringing, and we must get on top of this. Let's move on to step 2. Make a list. I want you to get a pen and paper and write down everything that your child does that you don't like. Even right now, as I say that, I know you've got a list of things in your head. Maybe they pull your hair. Maybe they grab the glasses off your face, grab the phone out of your hand, scream at you, or they bite, run away, and you say, come here, and they never come back. There are things they do that you don't like, and it's important to understand and accept the fact that you don't like it. That's okay. It's just not very nice. And some kids they're rat bags, right? And we may not like them very much, even if they're our own children. Sometimes, some days it's like, man, I don't like that kid right now. I really just don't like them. But again, it's our fault. We have trained them to be like that. When we receive a child, it's born, it's like an empty book. And the parent's job is to write in that book. And what have we written? Have we allowed them to get away with nonsense up to this point? Or are we writing things that help them have self-control, that give them clarity, that show them how the house runs and who the boss is? Be honest. We must be honest with all of this. If they're ratbags, they're ratbags, right? That's okay. But we also need to realize that's up to us to fix it. Now, this list can be as extensive as you like. Don't just write, 3 or 4 things that, would be nice. No, treat it like a brain dump. Get your pen and just scribble down everything that you don't like about your kid. It's good, it's healthy, it's honesty, and we cannot move forward until we've realized that there's a problem. So don't hold back, just write down everything. Step 3, we need to inspect the list. This is where we get down to the nitty-gritty. You need to look at this list and you need to look at how you as the parent have taught them to do these behaviors, these actions that you don't like. This is really hard to do as a parent, and there's no easy way around it. It's unpleasant to know that they're like this and it's our fault. We just need to look at this list very honestly and say, how did I do that? For example, when the baby pulls your hair, what did you do? When they grab the glasses off your face, what did you do? What did you teach them in that moment? If they pull your hair, did you laugh nervously because maybe there were people there? Did you just say, no, stop it? It's not just what we teach them, but also an absence of teaching. If by ignoring things, we've taught them to do something, then that's also our fault. Now that we've gone through the list, you've written everything down, you've looked at how you have enabled this to happen, we need to get to the solution. Take your list and one by one, look at how you can fix each item. Now, you can't do everything at once. Obviously, this is impossible. But pick a few. Pick the most pressing problems. If there are a few things they do that are really just, maybe they're borderline dangerous, obviously, we need to address these first. And if you're not sure how to begin the process, look at one of the problems and use this phrase. Discourage what you don't like, encourage what you do like. This whole principle is very basic. A lot of the time, what we don't do is discourage the things that we don't like. And that's our job as parents. They do something we don't like, we need to discourage them so that they learn, oh, that's not a good thing to do. I found that every adult is capable of being a good parent. All they need is a bit of encouragement and a bit of a point in the right direction, and they're away. We just need to have some intentionality and some consistency, and we can accomplish anything with our kids. So let's go through a really practical example of what you should be doing in one of these actions. Let's take the pulling hair example. Okay, I'm talking to the mothers or the fathers that have beautiful, luscious locks. So you sit your little boy on your lap and he loves to play with you and you're having a great time and he sees your hair and he thinks, oh, that looks very interesting. Now, he's just being curious, right? He wants to feel it. Some babies, they'll just feel it very softly and appreciate what it feels like. Most babies will grab it, they'll get a nice big handful in their chubby little fingers and they'll yank it, right? They'll really give it a good pull. You can obviously say ouch if it hurts, that's normal, but you do not get angry. There should not be any anger in your voice at any stage of this because you're the boss. And the boss doesn't get angry. They're cool, they're calm, they're collected, and they will deal with the situation in the proper way. So all you do is when this happens, you take their hand out of your hair, you look them in the eyes, and you very calmly, but with some authority in your voice, say, "That hurt me, don't pull my hair." This is all you need to do. And now you need to be consistent in giving a consequence if they do it again. Being a baby, they will do it again. I can almost guarantee it, because children will always test us. Because the baby has been the boss his whole life. Now you are, in his mind, challenging his authority. So to him, he's thinking, oh, well, we'll see. I'm going to try that again. And probably, depending on the child, some children it's like 2 seconds. Some it's a few minutes. But they will pull it again. Okay? You need to be ready. When they pull it again, do exactly the same thing. Grab their hand, take it out and say, "Don't pull my hair." Just like that. Now, depending on the child, you may need to be a little more firm. If they don't get the picture, then you need to return the favor. If they pull your hair and they're quite rough, you need to very calmly say, "Don't pull my hair," and then pull his hair. Now, this is not being cruel, it's not being nasty. We're just teaching him that there are natural consequences for his actions. He pulls your hair, you pull his hair, not in a way to get back at him, you're not angry, but he'll suddenly realize, oh, that causes pain. I'm going to stop that. It's very simple. There was an action, he received a consequence that was negative, and he won't want to do that again. Now, in the coming days, he might try it a few more times, and you can just return the favor a few more times. You must be 100% consistent with this. If you do it sometimes, then he will learn that sometimes he can get away with it, in which case you've got probably a worse problem. If he was completely untrained and you were doing this, you can still train him. But if you've tried to train and you failed and you do it sometimes, then he knows that you don't actually follow through with anything, and he'll be even worse. So please, 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 if you start training them in any of these behaviors, you must be committed. There will be times where you're very busy doing something and the kid does the exact thing that you've been training him not to do. You need to stop what you're doing and you need to go and address it immediately. Always, always, consistency. So what happened here? You wrote down a list, you looked at the behaviors that you've perhaps allowed, and you have started discouraging what you don't like and encouraging what you do like. Little things like pulling the hair, they stop happening. He won't pull your hair anymore. He won't grab your phone anymore. He's not going to bite people anymore because you've discouraged him from doing all of these things. You are establishing your position as the authority in the home, and he'll start to submit to you in a healthy, natural way. Not only are you building in him a level of respect for other people, but you're giving him self-control and you're teaching him there are consequences for his actions. This is parenting perfection. I would encourage you, make the list, go through it, 1 or 2 things at a time, and be consistent. If you have any questions, as always, please put them in the comments. There's a free ebook if you want it. It's in the description. I'll see you in the next video.